What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to this week's edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on the Big X Sports Radio, brought to you by the Collier Law Firm. We got Dalton Pence, Ron McKelly, and Matt Childress in studio tonight, taking you up till 7 o'clock. No shortage of topics that we're going to talk about this evening, both in the football and basketball landscape. Basketball is #fun once again. Louisville fans deserve this and more. The Cardinals just outside of the top 5 in the recent AP polls that dropped earlier today. We'll give you a little bit of Cincinnati preview at the end of the show. That game on Friday, so we're going to get that ball rolling. A lot of stuff to talk about with football. Unfortunately, not much, particularly in the good department. Miller Moss made some comments. Louisville fans reacted to it, and it was not pretty. The Clemson loss, it felt like Groundhog Day. Another loss in which Louisville dominated the yardage and just didn't do the little things well. And also,
did them badly.
Is the Georgia game in jeopardy? I know you all probably saw that, but we're gonna break it down a little bit. 502-414-1450, the Game Day Men's Health text line to get any thoughts in about the rough football weekend, the great basketball week and weekend. We won't really talk much about the Kentucky game because with this being a once-a-week show on Mondays, talking about a game on Tuesday when you all have heard about it all week, really no need to it. We'll talk about Louisville being 4-0. Thought the game against Ohio was interesting. But first off, Rome, Matt, what's going on, fellas?
Not much. Hosted for Mike today, so a lot of Louisville chatter today.
Big time, huh?
A lot of bidet talk.
Trying to be.
Excuse me?
You heard it.
Bidet talk?
You like bidets?
Transparently, I've never used one.
Really?
You're talking about what I think you're talking about,
the
right?
butt cleaner?
Oh, no, I've never used one.
Really?
I've heard that.
I've only used one like twice. So
I've heard that they're beneficial.
I've heard as well.
That they're convenient.
I've only used one probably like over a decade.
Would you recommend it?
If you can get the heated water one, I would
say. There's
a
heated option.
Yes. I've only ever had
Now, that might sway my decision because I can't imagine cold water just.
That's what I learned. I've only ever had the cold water experience. Going up.
Like waking up in the morning and just sitting down and having it's like. It's like a cold shower, but. Yeah.
I'm not against
heated option.
I'm not against them. For me personally,
I'm not sure about the practical side of it, but
I think it's more of so like I've got a routine. You know, I got the Huggies, $1 baby wipes. You get them from Walgreens.
Yeah.
You go toilet paper, white toilet paper, and you're all good.
Oh, so you have it down to a system.
It's got a literal routine, like
courtesy
you said.
flush in between.
Are you one of those people that likes to try to conserve toilet paper? Like, are you religiously using it to where you're like, screw it? Or are you one of those people who's like, I'm going to use as much as I need and that's it. I'm not going to overuse it.
I'm going to overuse it.
You are going to overuse it.
I'm going to use as much as I need. I've been there.
Yeah, but you're kind of overdoing it with the process, though.
Well, that's the thing. As much as I need is less now that
because the Huggies could make up for it, right?
You need the Huggies make it all possible.
Look, who cares how much anybody's using? As long as you're clean, that's all I'm caring about.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be conserving TV
you don't
out
smell
here.
Like bunghole. You're all
Matt
good.
says, "Screw the ethical." I'm thinking about the practical side.
Exactly.
I'd get a heated water, but
all we need.
Heated one. I would. But how much? Have we done a study on how much bidets like actually? Like save you on toilet paper? Like what's the cost of a bidet?
Interesting. I've never thought about that.
I'm gonna
You'd be surprised though. 1 out of every 4 Big X listeners has a bidet.
Are you serious?
You'd be surprised. We were chatting Louisville football, Louisville basketball. A good amount of texts came in on the Game Day. BIDET.
$50 to over $100 per person per year on an average
so it's like
household.
French. Okay.
It's a French item, I believe.
I mean, it's.
They were the first.
It's pronounced like BIDET. It would have to be.
Saying a family of 4 could save up to $400 per year if you own a bidet.
Wow.
Bidet prices vary wildly from under $100 for a basic non-electric attachment to over $5,000 for a high-end electronic bidet toilet. Now, I would imagine that a heated one's going to run you on the higher end.
Yeah, but
it's really just kind of convenience. It's not really about saving toilet paper.
Texter here says they spent $250 on the attachment type that comes
heated. I'm looking at that right now. It has a heated seat, hot water, and a dryer. What is this?
I don't know about the dryer part.
How would that even? How would that work?
It's like a reverse dryer, like at a basketball game. At a
reverse dryer,
a reverse hand dryer. Hot air coming up.
You got a Dyson hand dryer down there?
I think that would probably be some type of a health issue.
Could you imagine
just electrocuting yourself?
Could you imagine going to your buddy's house and he doesn't tell you he has that, and you're just like sitting down, doing your business, like, whoa!
I almost would rather him not tell me. I would almost rather him not tell me.
But what was funny is that we were chatting.
Yeah.
Not a lot of text started. The text kind of plateaued a bit in their frequency.
And then that revamped it up.
Bidet got brought up.
Bidet for the win.
5 or 6 texters coming in.
The line.
Huh.
All bidet defenders.
Because I was saying, yeah, it's
somebody says
poop splashing up poop water all over the place.
Bidet ignorance should not be platformed. What the hell, man? Your texter says, we got a Tushy bidet with warm water. Absolute game changer. Saves on toilet paper and cleans way better.
That's a first-time texter.
First text.
That's the first text.
Now, boy.
Wow. I didn't have the sound. I'm sorry.
I have to see if I know this.
First-time texter in on the show.
I have to see if I know this.
Yeah, I wonder if this is an avid Mondays with Dalton Pence listener.
Probably not.
Are you a first-time listener as well?
What a first text.
Yeah, that's a crazy first text in here.
Somebody did just text me and said, this is a wild opening to your show.
It was like a 20-minute segment.
Listen, the first segment's always the longest, so we got some time to kind of BS a little bit to get everything started. But we got a lot of stuff to chat about. First, it says first-time listener. Usually make it to Mike and Roman on my way home. Hey.
Well, you tuned in the best day possible.
I'm glad that you're tuning in to the B team.
This is where the real sports takes come
This
out
is where
from.
the real sports takes come from. Hashtag analysis. Maybe. But overall, I mean, do we want to start out good and go to bad in the middle and then go good, or you want to start out with the bad and then end with good? Because we've got to talk about what happened this weekend in football. We can't just ignore it because, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm pissed off.
Look, we've talked enough crap. Can we start with basketball this time?
Okay. Hey, that's perfectly fine with me. Louisville basketball, hashtag good again. Analysis done.
All right, move on to football.
All right. I had a conversation with someone. It wasn't a conversation. It was somebody sending comments into my on my Locked On Louisville YouTube page saying that this Louisville team is actually super selfish. And I had to ask, are we watching the same team? Selfish. I don't think your mic's on. Say something.
There you go.
There you go.
Selfish?
Selfish.
How?
We watching the same basketball team?
Michael Brown and Ryan Conwell dominate the shots.
They're the best shooters on the court outside of Isaac McNeely.
They're getting it's funny
shots.
that I mentioned all 5 starters scored in double digits, and then someone off the bench did as well, and it was like, nah, his team's selfish. Said, what team? The team that we played, I agree.
How many assists
Pavletsky didn't see a shot he didn't like. Then again, he made most of his shots. But
we had to have had 20 assists, right?
It was 23-11, the ATO.
That's great.
And can I tell you, that's what I think that has impressed me the most about this team is
taking care of the basketball. Just mentioned that in the last segment of the Mike Rutherford show.
ATO is a fancy way of saying taking care of the basketball and being unselfish. You don't get assists. You don't get 23 assists in a game by being selfish. In fact, it's probably the opposite.
Okay, hold on, guys. I know we're talking basketball, but the same texter actually sent in the actual link to the bidet that they own.
No shot.
They did. They sent it. This thing is nice.
With remote control?
No, scroll down. There's a picture of all the settings. There's front, rear.
Yes,
dude.
That's like what they've got in these Japanese TikToks I've been watching.
What is your algorithm?
What is 3D?
Matt, hold on. What is your algorithm?
I got a lot of foreign stuff on TikTok right now. I was tired of
foreign stuff.
I was tired of all of the NBA and
this man's getting his jersey.
The least incriminating way to say that.
I went through a couple rabbit holes with some soccer TikToks and a couple of terminologies, and now it's like all Asian mukbangs.
Dude's watching the top 10 Ronaldo goals ranking TikTok, and he ends up with Japanese bidets.
He's over there betting on Guangdong Tigers basketball.
What I do when I get home from work, except it's like
check his FanDuel.
He's typing this in Japanese, and it's translating it for me, and he's got a gadget in every room of his house.
Who's this?
the people that make content in Japan on TikTok. They use
it says shipping out of stock.
This thing has a 3D wash setting. What does that even mean?
Oh, he must have got
never mind. The elongated bowl is out of stock, but if you get the round toilet bowl, it's in stock. Estimated ship, dude. You can get it by next Tuesday for $400.
Oh, I think we all go in on this.
To do what? Are we putting it in the Big X Studios bathroom?
I think so.
Can we get a bidet title sponsor? That would be incredible.
Man.
I think we're glossing over Rome's algorithm. But anyway, it is what it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail it. I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up.
If you're a Costco member, it's $150 off. Wow, this guy might as well be working for Costco.
A government plant right here? This isn't a PSYOP texting us in? This man's trying to bring down big
I'm a Sam's Club guy. So that wouldn't really apply to me. I wonder if Sam's Club has something like that as well.
Oh, man.
Basketball, though. I think I don't want to be like too sentimental, but this is the best Louisville basketball offense since blank.
2014.
Okay.
You think so? Because, I mean, that number 4 Jordan Nwora team we played against Michigan was pretty good, too.
I was going to say 2019, 2020.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what year, but.
I don't. The balance of this team is insane. And that's what kind of gives me the nod over 2019, 2020, because that team plateaued.
Yeah.
Down the line. Big Bidet X Radio. Did you text it? Is that you?
No.
I'm about to say.
I got a text from a friend, or from a friend, yes, but from a Mike Rutherford Show listener as well. Though I know who the Costco bidet texter is.
Do you?
Oh, yes, it's our person I play fantasy football with. It's Alan Clark.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Alan Clark.
Big Bidet X Radio. Yeah. Name change has to come pretty quickly. Louisville's top 20 in ATO ratio, by the way.
Really?
Basically 2.08, so 2-1.
Ken Palm has us number 2 in offensive rating.
It matches the eye test.
It does.
But they're selfish.
Who is selfish?
Huh?
You must have just been watching like the only 3 Michael Brown pull up threes the whole game.
He does take a couple heat check shots.
3 singular possessions where there was less than 2 passes.
Yeah. It's like Spurs basketball. I had to pass the ball 5 times before you shoot.
Or it's selfish play.
But it's selfish.
I love it.
I also think, coming off of that Kentucky game.
We're a stickler fan base.
I will say this about the Kentucky game. The funniest thing that came away from that game was, and it wasn't everyone, and I know that this pops up a lot of times. It's a coping mechanism. But this idea that, Louisville played so much better than they can. Like, they played lights out. They couldn't have another performance like that. And I'm like, bro.
This is going to be every other.
They shot 32% from 3. Kentucky outshot Louisville across the board, had more rebounds and more points in the paint. It's okay to admit that Louisville's just a better team right now. It's not that hard to admit. It is what it is. Not that big of a deal for them, I guess.
That's how it's going to stay.
What'd you think about what Pope said with all the emotions in the locker room thing? Then he mentioned Taylor Swift. Then he said, I'm a Taylor Swift fan. He said, I'm a Swiftie.
Sore loser.
Hoping that he can get the Swifties on his side.
He's crumbling. He's folding under the pressure. If he goes 1-2 in this rivalry, it's only a matter of time.
Well, he ended up, after their last game, he came back out into the press conference again. He was like, you guys have been asking me all about the story that I will, and then he says in quotes, get into later after the Louisville game. And he basically says that what I was going to bring up doesn't really matter anyway. It wasn't even a big deal.
You just need to bury the hatchet, bro.
I was like, dude, what if it's not a big deal, what were you even bringing it up for?
You need to bury the hatchet.
You just wanted an excuse. That's all you wanted.
You need to just say, you know what, we're going to grow and learn from it and let bygones be bygones, because you're digging yourself into a larger hole and you're making it more challenging, because the more you double down, people are already looking at you thinking you look goofy. But the more you double down, I think the worse that it looks optically. And no one hates this more on social media than Kentucky fans.
Well, that wasn't even the worst thing he said. He goes on after that to say that he's not where he needs to be with this team. He doesn't know why.
Because it's game 3.
It's like, what are you talking about,
bro?
man?
It's early.
Yeah, you're the one in the offseason who was pressing. This team shoots 70% true shooting percentage.
And again, this is what comes with the territory when you spend $22 million on a roster,
which I still can't believe they let get out. I can't believe they let get out.
Yeah. $22 million. You shouldn't be just a national championship contender. You should be the favorite. I firm believer. If you spend the most money on a college roster, you should be the favorite. Point blank.
I need to know how much money Colin Chandler's making. I gotta know.
$3 million.
Whatever it is, it's too much.
No wonder they got all these guys. It's like, here, dude. I mean, you think about it. Truly think about it. That's like literally, by the math, 2 times 11 is 22. That's like saying everyone in your rotation's making $2 million.
Jaden Quaintance must be making 10.
But that's another thing is you knew that he had an ACL surgery in April. Now we're acting appalled. It's like, oh, we didn't have Jaden Quaintance. You never were going to. You were never going to have him for this game.
And even if you do get him back at some point in the season, how long until he's 100%?
But you knew that. But like,
we're going through the same thing with Case and Pryor.
To Dalton's point, you knew this before he was on the team.
You knew this before you recruited him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he tore his ACL in last November. He tore it in March. Like.
Oh yeah, no, he tore it, had the surgery, and everyone knew that he wasn't going to be ready for the start of the season.
And he's a big man, so it's usually a little bit longer.
It's usually a little longer. But let's look at this Ohio game because the offense, I think, did its thing. I had my worries coming into the game that there was going to be a letdown. PK mentioned in the postgame press conference that there's human emotion. You come off of an emotional high victory against a rival in Kentucky. He loved their preparation. He thought that they were really dedicated and motivated to the cause. But it did seem like, I don't know that I would call it a letdown. I think the team just played sloppy. I think there were times they did score 106 points, but they gave up 81. There were just times where there were too many open shooters, couple loose balls. They made some mistakes, and it landed right with Ohio. Yeah. And I will give credit to Ohio. These dudes were not scared. They were about that action. They wanted the smoke. They were taking it to Louisville. They kind of hit Louisville in the mouth early on, even if the score didn't really reflect that. But, I mean, you win by 25 points, guys. I'm not going to be sitting here saying, you know what, man, this was such a huge letdown. Maybe we're not as good as we thought. Bro, you beat a team by 25 points. You're favored to beat them by 31.5, and you beat them by 25.
You're averaging over 100 points per game.
The lowest amount of points you've scored is 96. That's against your rival.
You should have finished at 105 if you didn't miss 7 straight free throws.
And, I mean, this team, I will say, I am becoming a huge, huge fan of these Kobe Rogers minutes. Fantastic minutes. Even if he's not playing upwards of 15 a night, there was that series where he scored and then stole the ball and got the layup, and I'm like,
took his cookies, too.
You know, he reminds me of, what's dude's name? Oh, gosh. Play it, Georgia Tech. Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
He, without the theatrics of it, right? He gives me like Jose Alvarado, like
opposite personality.
You just don't want to play against him because he's a pest.
Yeah.
To play against because he's right there. He knows his role.
Every single move that he makes on the court's at 110%.
See, I was going to say TJ McConnell.
I like McConnell too. McConnell, I think, is a better shooter. It's a different profile, right?
Especially on inbounds.
What do you think about who else? Well, no, that's not gonna fit. Yeah, McConnell and Alvarado are probably the two that I'm looking at. Just guys that you know probably aren't going to score 20 at any point this year, but the role that he plays off the bench is so critical because, like I mentioned, guys, your starting 5 is important, but go back and look at the Final Fours over the past couple of years. Your bench matters.
Critical, yeah.
It's critical. I thought Adrian Woolley had his best game as a Cardinal.
Getting better every game.
He is, and it was always going to take some time. It was always going to take some time for him to find his footing.
He can get better.
He definitely
has a lot of room to grow.
He had 11 points, 6 rebounds,
and he still left some points
steals.
out there.
He did.
Still a couple buckets where
we do have to stop missing so many open layups. Yeah. So it was a problem last year. Khalifa missed a couple in this game. I think the speed is something that guys are just getting used to, but
yeah, they're trying to make.
You got to stop missing some open layups. Right?
Yeah, it's tougher.
You got to stop missing some open layups. I think that because someone asked me about Pryor. Pryor played 7 minutes. I admittedly thought he was going to play more.
They're easing him back.
After the Kentucky game, I thought he was probably going to get, because he played like 16 against Jackson State. Cincinnati, I think we're going to see him in that same pocket of 7 to 10 minutes. But it's after this. You have Eastern Michigan and NJIT, and I think that that's where you're going to see them really try to help him turn the corner, because December, you hit the gate running, man. Or you hit the ground running. It's Arkansas on the road. You're Indiana up in Indianapolis, Memphis, Tennessee. You really it's kind of like, okay, I know we're trying to ease him back in, but how soon is too soon?
Got to get ready, yeah.
Right? I mean, I heard that Thanksgiving week was kind of a target date for like full no minutes restrictions, but I'm not worried about him. I think there's a mental side to it. He doesn't look as comfortable, right, as he did last year. Someone said, "Oh, he's lost a step." I don't know that he's playing at 100%, like 100% speed, because when you aren't confident on that knee, I mean, you just tore your ACL.
A lot of things you can't do the same anymore.
Well, I mean, it also takes some time. Like, you're playing high D1 basketball, where, especially in a system where you're just,
I have to make a decision for every movement I make in life, in daily life. I've got to, okay, I'm about to do this now, and then do it. Imagine trying to not do that while you're playing basketball. You can't.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I think he's going to continue to get better and better. I'm not worried about it. I think that's what I'm trying to get at here, is I'm not worried about it. He's not getting the ball anyway because this team is very selfish, apparently. So stupid, man.
Selfish enough to give up, allow Case and Pryor to actually shoot in this game.
I don't get it, bro. Like, right now, you have 6 dudes averaging over 10 points a game, and you're selfish.
Yeah, this is not a selfish basketball team.
What do you think about Kenai Roots? Didn't have much of an impact in this game. Didn't really play much against Kentucky. I know that, again, the dangerous thing early on is when you play maybe the two worst teams on your schedule, things might get a little bit overinflated in terms of the numbers. I still think that Roots has a role on this team. Don't get me wrong. I think it's just he played 11 minutes against UK, 19 against Ohio. I think it's going to be very matchup specific, but 15 to 17 minutes a night is where I think the healthy medium is going to be for him.
Yep.
He's just going to continue to grow, man. I mean, it's just he was never going to be a 19.8 rebound type of guy on a nightly basis. And it's okay to accept that because he's still getting better.
Yeah.
And if he improves between last year and this year, it's all I'm going to ask for.
If you can get him in that 9 to 10 point range, that four or 5 rebound range, and then 2 stocks every time, that's what's the priority. He's like,
I agree.
You need to be getting a steal and a block every time you were playing at least 15 minutes. And that's what he's going to have to be. I think there's those games where you have not a lot of front court creation. You'll see him play more, where he doesn't have to do a bunch defensively, because those front court players are more so just role player type of guys that do fundamental stuff instead of shot creating stuff. You'll see him play more because he gets to be that help defender that he is. He's utilized best when he gets to be a help defender and then a transition player. And that's just been one thing. I think there hasn't been a lot of transition buckets to the rim when he's been in the game. Not a lot of transition moments when he's been in the game, which has been kind of weird because that wasn't the case in the beginning of the season. It felt like every time he's on the floor, that's when we're in transition, because he's a culprit in creating them sometimes with his deflections and his size. But I just, games where there's more back and forth transition type of flow, you'll see him more Kenai. In games where it's more half court, the decisions have to be good and assertive, you'll see a little bit less Kenai until he eases more into that. I do think those games at the beginning of the season, though, helped. Those are huge for his confidence now going forward, when he is going to be getting less minutes in those bigger games.
Mm-hmm. The Cardinals are now number 6 in the AP poll. Purdue overtook number 1 after beating Alabama on the road this week. We got a couple. Actually, no. We're going to go ahead and go to break. We're going to put basketball to the side for the moment. We got to have a real tough conversation about Louisville's quarterback situation. We'll do so at the top of the hour. You're tuned into Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio. Top of the hour here on this November 17th edition of Mondays with Dalton Pence, D. Pence, Roman, and Matt Childress taking you up till 7 o'clock tonight. Guys, we've got to talk about football. And I'm not going to talk so much. Well, we'll start with the game. I don't know if you all have seen this movie, but you understand the reference. Bill Murray, it's Groundhog Day. Once again. That's what it feels like. Feels like these losses have been sort of the same thing. But just frustrating. You had every chance to win. I think benching the kicker, who has been very good for you this year, benching him in favor of Mr. Keller. And Keller's been good too, but Ranvier's been really solid. And benching him, I thought, was the wrong decision. I once again questioned the time management at the end of the first half. Thought that was like, what are we doing? 502-414-1450, the Gameday Men's Health text line. Let's get into Miller Moss and his dog. I didn't know where that was going. Is the bidet hooked up?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Warming it up for Roman right now.
What do you think about his comments? Overreacting? Let me read them to you first, because the way they were reported, and this is no disrespect to anybody else, the way they were reported didn't include the full quote. I'm going to eliminate the idea that this quote was pulled out of context. I'm going to take that all the way out. You're going to hear the full quote. I get it, you're competitive, and stop right there. This was in response to the question about the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Miller Moss said, and I quote, "I get it. You're competitive. It's getting to the end of the game. You want to do everything you can to win the game. The ultimate competitors have the greatest amount of focus in those moments. They're able to kind of flatline and stay even-keeled. That's obviously something that we have to work on." I'm going to pause the quote right there for a second. He's not wrong. I mean, that goes without saying. I think it's pretty straightforward. You can't get too high, can't get too low. And, dude, this computer,
It's terrible.
I mean, literally just sent me into an ad about air. I don't know if it's AirPods or what. Again, I'm bringing up this quote. It wasn't that part that people are upset about. It's this part. I don't think something like that gets fixed week to week. That's a cultural thing and an off-season thing that's going to need to be addressed. It didn't come down to any one thing or any one penalty. We own this as a team, and we all have each other's backs in doing that. That last sentence, I understand. And I understand as human beings, we all make mistakes. Sometimes what we say and how we say it isn't really how we want it to be portrayed. Sometimes what we say is phrased in ways that don't accurately represent the sentiments of the thought. But guys, what he said about this football culture, I don't know how you can look at it but anything, how you can look at it as anything else but throwing your program under the bus. Because you're supposed to be a leader on this team, right? You're saying that you can't fix it, and it can't be fixed in the season. Now, there's 2 weeks left in the bowl game. You're saying that it cannot be fixed. So it's either A, you're pointing to the coaching and saying it's on the coaching staff, or B, it's on the personnel and you're throwing your teammates under the bus.
It's both.
Usually I try not to make something out of nothing. That's not this situation. I don't know that he meant it like this, but when you say it's about the culture of the program, and something that also doesn't rub me the right way, it would be different if he was like a sophomore quarterback. And he's coming back next year, and he's committed. He's like, I want to be the change that I want to see. And instead, he's going full-on Magic Johnson meme saying, I'm not going to be here. So you're basically saying, LMAO, thanks, guys. See you later. This is your all's problem. Is that not what he's saying here?
It's quite literally what he's saying.
Well, yeah, he showed that he cared against Miami, and I don't doubt that he cares. And I know that not all of this has been his fault this season. But I think when you look at his struggles over the past month and you add in this, Louisville fans have every right to feel the way they do, which right now is kind of pissed off. Kind of pissed off. Producer Matt, am I looking too much into this?
No. I mean, the things he said were not entirely false, but
you just don't say them.
You're not in a place to say them. Like, like you said, it'd be different if he was a sophomore, if he was coming back. But you're a guy who is a fifth-year senior. You should be at least trained in some way to say what not to say, especially when you have Jeff Brom as your head coach, the king of not saying things that incriminate you. You also have only played in this program for 1 year. You weren't here last year. You weren't here the year before. So I don't see how you have any say over what culture is and what culture isn't.
It reflects on you as a leader.
You got benched at USC. I didn't hear anything about the culture there.
At least I don't think so.
Jeff Brom has allowed you to play every single game, even though the whole fan base is begging for you to sit on the bench.
I have to get benched here.
I don't know, Roman.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
Can I say this? I don't think you will. But if it were me, if I were the head coach of the Cardinals, Miller Moss would have taken his final snap as a Cardinal.
You really don't think he's...
Do I think he's going to get benched? No. At least not to start the SMU game. Do I think, in my personal opinion, that Louisville should start Deuce Adams for the rest of the year? 1,000%. A texter says this: it's a no-brainer for Jeff to start Deuce on Saturday, and here are a few reasons why. Senior day consideration. If Miller starts and looks horrible and we lose, he might actually get booed on senior day, which is not a good look. Okay? If Deuce starts and looks even just okay, you'll have an invigorated fan base the rest of the year and a pumped fan base through the offseason. Don't disagree with that. If Deuce starts and sucks, then you will have validated your decision to go with Miller as long as possible, and you probably buy some leeway with the fan base if you decided to turn to another transfer portal quarterback. And then the final thing, he says, start Deuce. If you have to go back to Miller, let Mr. Culture himself prove he's a team player by supporting the new starter and giving his best if his number is called again, or just go on to Brady or Mason. There's a response out there in response to this, oh, hey, let's start Deuce. The rebuttal to that point is, what if he's not ready? What if you don't have anybody that's ready?
Miller's not ready.
My rebuttal is, A, quarterback play has limited you so much over the past couple weeks, and B, we got to have a very different conversation if we're in year 3 under Jeff Brom, and once again we don't have a backup quarterback, an internal option that's ready to play. And I don't really want to have that conversation because I understand people are out there is like, oh, fire Brom, let him go to Penn State. No, stop that. Stop that. Jeff Brom has done plenty good for this university. Yes, there have been some things that have frustrated the ever-living heck out of me. But you can't see the forest for the trees sometimes, and I think when you look at this from a bird's eye view, 9+ wins the past 2 years, yes, there are things that need to be evaluated and worked on. If not Jeff Brom, who else is better, right? So I am fully on board with starting Deuce Adams, though. I think at some point you have to see what he can give you, and I agree with the point that the texter makes. If he shows you that, hey, maybe he's not ready or not, maybe not the guy, you have a better understanding of what you need to go get in the portal.
And also, just for the fact that you're now 3 for 3 and trying to take this pay cut kind of a route with the quarterback, where there's these upper echelon, we can go spend this money for this guy. There's this tier right here where we can spend this money for this guy, and then there's this tier right here.
The first two guys, I agree. Miller, they paid Miller.
I don't think they paid him top dog money, though.
What would you consider top money?
I mean, I don't think he was north of 1.5.
Pretty close.
There's guys out there asking for $2 and $3 and $4 million.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about that, I mean, here's the thing: they ponied up for what was
they gave him what he
perceived to be a top quarterback in the portal.
But what I think they're going to continue to try to not overspend for that position going forward. You want Deuce to compete for that position next year, regardless of what you do.
I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
If that's the case, which it should be, because he's been here and he stayed here. Get him out there now so he's competing with some game experience against real teams. You're going to go have him try out for the position next year, having never played against a serious snap, having never played a serious snap in your program, and you want him to start? I mean, if that was your plan forward, that wasn't a good plan. Get him out there now so he knows what it feels like, so he can see a Kentucky SEC defensive line and what that feels like to come at him and work through that, right? So we can play that up-tempo football against an SMU team. There's so many reasons as to why Deuce should be playing, but for the fact that you plan for him to be a part of your future and he hasn't gotten a serious game experience yet, and you're probably going to go to the portal again next year, and you want him to try out for that position again next year, even if you do have to go to the portal, give yourself a better opportunity of him having some experience right now.
It would be different if – I think it would be different if, like last year when things weren't going well, your quarterback play wasn't the reason you were losing. Nobody last year – I mean, there were some people, but for the most part, people weren't asking about seeing Pierce Clarkson when Tyler Shuck's playing well. It's different because it's not like – I mean, you can argue, well, there's going to be a huge drop-off. Of course he's not ready. Coach would put him in if he was ready. I agree with that to an extent, but there's been so many examples out there of a backup quarterback coming in unexpectedly and being the spark that you need. Until you see it happen on the field, why not try it? Because right now what's happening is you have a severely limited offense that is hoping and praying that the rushing attack can lead them to victory. Clemson, going into the game against Friday, averaged 10 plays a game in which they gave up 10-plus passing yards on a play. Miller Moss had 4 passes that were thrown past 10 yards on Friday night. One of them was to Chris Bell with that great catch. 4 passes. You want to talk about Brum's play calling? Understand that he tailors his play calls around his quarterback. What does that tell you? You can read between the lines. And I don't like to sit here and bash the quarterback. I'm not bashing Miller Moss. I was a huge Miller Moss advocate, right? You all know that. The offseason, I was a huge Miller Moss advocate. I was a huge Miller Moss advocate before the season. I said early on, let's give him the benefit of the doubt because it's not all his fault. But I think there's a fine line between justifiable criticism and going overboard. I think we're in the justifiable realm right now. I mean, it's just things aren't working. You've got to try something different, regardless of the comments. You can put the comments to the side. I think you got to try something different because right now, I'm not sure with the offense that I've seen if Louisville wins the next 2 games.
Probably don't.
I'm not sure. And I hate that I'm saying that, but I'm just not sure. I think it's time for a quarterback change. And I've waited to the very last minute to have to say that. I didn't want to say it. I wanted to be right on Miller Moss. Desperately. Because it means that he's having a great season. I thought he was going to. And unfortunately, it comes down to this. Feelings aside, it's just not working. The Miller Moss-Louisville partnership just didn't go to plan. And it is what it is. Texter says, Chris here, we have quarterbacks ready. Jeff is just hard-headed and doesn't want to get away from Miller. It's ruined our season. Defense stepped up this year. Brom has not developed a quarterback in 3 years. He's been here. He needs to go. Chris, I don't agree that he needs to go. I do think changing his ways a little bit, like you have to adapt to this new era of football, and Brom has shown ability to adapt, but I also hope that it's not like a sunken cost fallacy, that like Louisville paid so much money for Miller Moss that like going away from him is just not something that they're wanting to do. And I'm like, sometimes you just had to cut your losses and try something different. Because it happens every year where a backup quarterback steps in for a starter and the backup quarterback transforms the offense. We're seeing it with Ole Miss right now with Trinidad Chambliss. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen for Deuce Adams, but I mean, we've heard how live his arm is. He needs, I'll tell you what he needs if you're talking about developing, he needs those live in-game reps.
Yep. So with Pitt this season.
It's easier said than done, but you put yourself in a situation where honestly you could have thrown him into the equation sooner. I don't know, man. It's just extremely frustrating. And
I hate to bring this up because of the team it is, but I mean, did anybody believe that Cutter Boley was ready to play a snap of college football?
After last year? No.
No, not at all.
And
And,
they bring in Zach Calzada and paid a decent amount for him.
But you let Cutter play at the end of the season
And
last year, and now look.
Well, look at what Cutter's doing now. I mean, it's
like, he looks good.
you don't know what you have until you see him. I understand you see him in practice, and there's this rebuttal of, oh, well, the coaching staff sees him in practice every day. Yeah, you got to see what he can do in a game. Because right now, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. And I just think it's like a putt that's 5 feet away, Rome. Got to see it.
Yeah.
Got to see it. Not predetermined. Got to see it because, I mean, I think that good things can happen if you call Deuce Adams' number. Speaking of good things happening when you call the number, when you call 502-736-8141 and talk to the great employees at the Collier Law Firm, you're going to understand that in an unfortunate situation, if you get injured at or on the way to the job, the Collier Law Firm has got your back and not your wallet. Lower fees and more for you. Tony has played for those big insurance companies. He knows the opposing playbook. Just like Matt Childress studies the opposing playbook when he shouldn't, Tony Collier knows it like the back of his hand. What does that mean? Why is it relevant? It means that he's going to get you paid. And he's going to make sure that you get peace of mind in the process. 502-736-8141 or go to collierlawfirm.com today. When we come back, is this Georgia game actually going to be taken off the schedule? Well, it seems like we're heading down that road. We'll tell you more about it and what happened on Monday coming up in the next segment. You're tuned into Big X Sports Radio. segments down, 2 segments to go here on this. I won't say chilly. It was decent weather today in the 502.
Not bad.
When the sun was out, it was warm. But a little chilly tonight, but to be expected on November 18th. I think it's still wild that we're only about 6 Mondays away from 2026. And speaking of 2026, in this weird era of college football and how schedules change so quickly, I think it's worth noting that, we were kind of, I won't say worried, but there was real concern that the Georgia game might not happen next year because SEC goes to 9 games. They've already got Georgia Tech.
They're scared.
You could say that. I wouldn't say that, but you could say that.
I'm saying it.
Think so? I mean, they scheduled Clemson the past couple of years when Clemson was good.
They're scared.
Ducking the smoke, if you will.
Yeah.
But it became an even more real possibility today. It was announced that Georgia is opening up the season against Tennessee State next year. Why the bleep is that important, Dalton? Well, currently, that would mean that Georgia has 13 regular season games. So what has to happen? They got to cut one. Got to cut a non-conference game. The 3 that you're looking to, the 3 that you're looking to cut one from, one of them is Georgia Tech. They ain't doing that. No shot they're taking their rival off. So that leaves 2. Louisville and WKU. I think this game's not going to happen. I think that this, I won't say gets the ball rolling, but it pushes that ball down the hill where it's going to snowball into something that eventually Louisville's going to have to make ends meet and
Gonna
find
get
a
our
replacement.
NC State out of conference game.
I wouldn't be surprised. But another thing that's pretty interesting is that the cancellation that Georgia would have to pay for the Louisville game is $1 million.
That's it?
For WKU, it's 1.9. So let's think about that. You can have a home game against WKU and spend $1 million less, or you can go on the road and play Louisville and
Have to spend an extra $900,000.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, man. The Louisville game's going to get canceled.
I didn't know that money part aspect to it.
Now, what I do want to know is, because it's a series with Louisville, does canceling that make it to where you have to go like $1 million? It's $2 million combined, like $1 million per game, maybe. Because if they take away this game at Louisville, Brahms shouldn't be playing on the road next year, and that's it. No shot. I would hate that.
No, not fair.
Hey, we're not going to play at your place, but you can come play against us in Athens in 2027. Nah, man. FOH. FOH.
We don't need that.
But then again, you're spending 1.9 this year. You're probably going to have to, if you're going to take Louisville off the schedule again, you're going to have to, or it's just the money aspect, it is what it is. I would ask this, though. If you're Louisville, and let's go take a look at the Cardinals' schedule for next year. Because, honestly, if you can get a good team, there's a lot of opportunity. Now, don't forget, the 9-game conference schedule doesn't take place until 2027.
Yeah, for the ACC.
The non-conference next year, the season opens up. Actually, I don't know if this is the season opening up. It might be. Villanova. You're playing against Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo and company. Charlotte and at Kentucky. I'll give you 3 options. You all tell me which one you would want more. A, you can have a bye game. FCS team, Eastern Kentucky maybe, Morehead State, Murray State. You can add them for Saturday, September 19th, automatic win. B, you go out there to another conference and say, hey, if I need to schedule a conference game, I think this is the least likely of the 3. Say, hey, look, Big 10, got anybody that wants to play? Big 12, what's going on? You up? Or You do what Virginia and NC State did this year that Matt just alluded to, and you go play a conference team as an out-of-conference game. Which would you all want to see?
You up?
you want to see a team that Louisville is not in the conference play, but it's still a respectable team?
Yeah. I don't want to spend the money Alabama just gave us.
You mean Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia.
Spend it on a.
Tom says he wants good teams every team every game. Coach for it.
He's got some medical issues. I mean,
True.
Hate to hear it, but Matt, what do you think?
Seemed like he was working through them though.
I'm with Roman. I'd rather play like some really good competition because at least in the state of the ACC, you need to get as much respect as you can, and the ACC just doesn't have a lot of that. But if I'm thinking realistically, it's going to be the conference route. It's going to be we're going to play like Virginia twice, or we're going to play NC State twice, or we're going to play, Yeah. I would love to say we go out and get like a Big Ten team and play them. Like I'd love to see if we could. It doesn't matter how good or bad they could bring back Indiana if they wanted to. But
you want me to give you? So I'm looking at this, and this is an article from October. Okay, it's from FBS schedules. It's who's got all that stuff. It's listed FBS college football teams with non-conference openings in 2026. I'm going to give you a couple teams, and you tell me who you'd want to play. I'm just going to go down the line with significant ones. Army, Boise State, FIU. After the T.Y. Hilton thing, I still don't want them back. Florida State. You're already playing Florida State. Doesn't matter. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Florida State twice?
No.
Fresno State, Georgia State. We can play Jacksonville State again. Louisiana Tech. LSU.
Bring LSU in.
LSU's already playing Clemson, though. I don't think that they're going to play another team. Memphis. Ooh. Now that's one. I'd love to see Louisville-Memphis play home and home with the Tigers. I'll take that.
Could end up looking like a good win potentially for you as well.
I mean, you can throw Miami back on there. Miami's not on the conference schedule. You could throw them on there if you want. Ole Miss. Depending on if Lane Kiffin's there, he might not schedule it. Pitt. Do we play? I think we might play Pitt, yeah. South Carolina is a team.
That'd be cool.
Temple, Texas A&M if you want to play them 3 out of 4 years. USC.
Bring Texas A&M in for a third year. Make it a rivalry.
There's a couple teams with 2 non-conference schedule openings, Oregon State and San Diego State.
I'll take San Diego State.
I would love – here's how I would look. I think that if you can bring in a team that's – you're not going to bring a team in with the quality of Georgia, right? Let's go ahead and call that how it is. But if you could bring in a team that's respectable, that you don't play a lot, or, dude, I'm telling you, sign us up for Memphis. I'll play Memphis. Give us a home and home with them.
Yeah.
Bring back those vibes. Now, granted, we don't really have a ton of, like, football history with Memphis, but Memphis is going to be one of the better teams in the AAC, or what are they in now? The AAC? They're still in the American. Honestly, they should just add them to the ACC. And
they tried to get out, and then they got rejected, and they were like, we love the AAC. It's our favorite conference.
Exactly.
Soar, Eagle, Soar, or whatever their conference mascot's name is.
Huh?
You don't see that?
Who is?
The AAC, they have their own mascot?
They have their own mascot?
Yeah.
His name's like Soar or something like that. He's an eagle.
This?
No. What the hell?
Yeah, they got.
What would the ACC's mascot be? Wrong answers only.
A referee.
A zebra.
With like blind glasses on, like the 3 blind mice. My bad, LMAO. 502-414-1450, the Gameday Men's Health text line. Who would you want to play? I'll open it up to this, okay? If Georgia does go off the schedule, we'll make it a little bit fun. And Louisville could add anyone to the schedule outside of Georgia, of course. For whatever reason, who would you add?
Indiana.
Let's say it'd be a home game for Louisville.
Indiana.
You take Indiana?
I like Indiana.
I win. Google
Stop
me.
running.
Yeah.
Even though they're better than us.
Florida?
But that makes it that much cheesier. Like, you're a good team. Act like it.
Yeah.
Stop ducking the smoke. Especially with how much SHIT I just learned I can't say that on air. How much?
Unless you say it twice.
Yeah, then it cancels out. How much blank Kurt Signetti talks? You should back it up. And you're doing that on the field, but do it with scheduling as well. Who'd you want to see, guys? Give me a team.
Florida.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, the only time we played them, at least in my lifetime, was the Sugar Bowl. That was a really exciting game, and it's a team we've never really played.
I was gonna say
It'd be something different. Oregon would be cool too.
Oregon would be cool. Oregon would be cool. Give me. I feel like Max Kellerman. He goes, "Give me Iguodala." Give me Cincinnati. Make it happen, bro.
I'd like to have Cincinnati back.
But can you imagine if Louisville loses that game?
No.
Buddy, the copium would be off the charts. Actually, never mind. Don't give me Cincinnati.
I think if we lost that game, the fired
so
Jeff
bad.
Braun people on Twitter would be going crazy.
Oh, they would be.
Scott
They would be
Satterfield.
victory numbers galore.
For fans, I don't think the risk outweighs the potential harm. Or the
Yeah.
harm.
Yeah.
We
just seem like the toxic X at this point.
Yeah.
UCF.
I'd say no because we played UCF.
I'll say yes because I'd like to go down there for that game, but I just don't know if it would be enough for us at any point compared to other teams.
Yeah.
Well, they won a national championship, guys.
Anyways, I wouldn't mind. I see a trip to the West Coast to play an actually good team, but it seems like we just lose to West Coast teams.
Yeah, no.
So maybe not. Maybe that's not what we need to do. Maybe we need to stay in the Eastern time zone, Central time zone at worst. I wouldn't mind playing somebody in the
Go
Big
up
Ten,
north.
dude.
Let's go play Rutgers or something. Jeez.
No,
I don't want to play Rutgers ever again.
I don't want to play Rutgers, bro.
I would like it to be
I
a
would
Big
say
Ten.
something like off the wall, dude. Give me Minnesota or something.
The Golden Gophers.
What did Joe Biden do? Minnesota. Nah, yeah, I think, but I think it's time to start seriously preparing for the reality that ultimately the Louisville Georgia game is probably going to get canceled. I think that I would,
and it's probably gonna be an FCS team.
I would be, yeah. I mean, but to Louisville's, to their credit, or to their defense, I should clarify. You're kind of like the season's less than a year away. You don't really have that many options. It's different if this was like 2030, but it's not. I think the game gets canceled. Wouldn't surprise me if it gets announced somewhat sooner rather than later, especially if Louisville ends up announcing a 13th game. This, I would imagine they've probably known that this has been in the works for a minute.
Surely.
So, but let's go to break. We got one more segment to go. We're going to bring it back to the basketball side of things. Louisville and Cincinnati taking place in one of those vintage old-time Big East games coming up on Friday. I like the Cardinals' chances in this one. Let me tell you why. We're going to break it down here on Big X. 6:40 here on this final segment of Mondays with Dalton Pence here on Big X Sports Radio. Dalton, Roman, and Matt taking you up for the next 20 minutes, give or take. Your Louisville Cardinals men's basketball team is back. They're number 6 in the AP poll, which I don't think it probably is the best ranking that this team has had since that number 1 ranking back in 2019, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time, guys. You all big Avengers fans?
Yeah.
Matt?
Decently. Used to be a lot bigger.
Okay, but did you watch Endgame?
Yeah, of course. I was there the day it came out.
Yeah, facts.
I bought my tickets like 6 weeks early.
Oh, see, I watched all of the Avengers movies for the first time in 2023.
But that's good that you watched them all. But you remember that scene in Endgame where it's right after the portal scene, and Spider-Man and Iron Man, they embrace again. He's like, do you remember when we were in space?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's been 5 years. We got to go. They need us. It feels like that. It's like, it's been 5 years. Come back. Louisville basketball needs us. Just like, dude, it's been a long 5 years, man. It feels like an eternity since, he goes, gosh, feels like an eternity since I escaped out of that cave. Gosh, feels like an eternity since we were good again.
It does. Feels like I was a completely different person the last time we were good. And I was.
Louisville's number 6. They're 4-0 overall. Number 1, Purdue. Number 2, Houston. Number 3, UConn. Number 4, Arizona. Number 5, Duke. Have you all watched any of those teams play?
Yes.
What are your thoughts? Who impresses you the most early on outside of Louisville?
UConn's impressive.
UConn has been very impressive.
Duke has been impressive, but I don't know. I'm questioning if it's going to sustain when they start playing some more top-level talent.
Yeah, they didn't really. They play. Who is it? Kansas tomorrow night. Is that who they play? They play Kansas tomorrow night.
I think so.
Yeah, they play Kansas tomorrow night in that Champions Classic.
That's
now,
right.
Kansas isn't great, but it's better than what they played.
So I'll be, they haven't. Not going to deny that they've looked good. I just wonder just how good they truly are. Houston looks good. Purdue's offense looks good.
Louisville has looked as good as anybody. Fair to say?
Yep.
Early on in the season? Good. You have to prove it. Louisville's going to get an opportunity to continue to prove it. They're back in action on Friday up in I think it's Heritage Bank Center. Matt's going. Credential Media.
I'll be there.
Credential Media, man. Let's go.
Congrats.
Have you ever been to that little it's the hockey arena.
Yeah, the one next to Great American.
It's very, very small inside. You will realize that it's like, oh.
It looks huge from the outside.
It's not. I would say it might be. I went to a concert here back in June. I'm going to look that up.
I'm hearing Jeff Brom just canceled his radio show this week.
He did. That was what do you think it
The exact text I got is
dog. He's
too scared of criticism to do his radio show.
He just doesn't want to answer the same questions over and over.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's because he's got something tucked in the duck.
The capacity, damn, never mind the capacity, 17 grand. It doesn't look that big. I mean,
that's what she said.
Kind of.
Doesn't really.
No, maybe because it was a concert thing and like half of it was. No, there's seats.
Oh.
Granted, Louisville is playing one of those weird non-neutral games. They're technically the home team, but they're playing against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. What the hell?
Yeah.
Cincinnati's 4-0. They've got who many Louisville fans wanted after James Scott went into the portal, Baba Miller.
Yep. He
has had a pretty solid start to the year. He leads their team in points and rebounds, basically 16 and 11. What I think benefits the Cardinals is that you look at the rotation. I think Louisville's just going to outrun them in this game. I think Cincinnati plays with a smaller rotation. Like, they've got 4 guys that score in double digits, but outside of that, it's a team that, they're averaging 78.5. They're shooting under 30% from 3.
They're defending well.
They've got solid size in the front court. I'm interested to see how Frew and company are going to do against Baba Miller and Mustafa Theom, who's the transfer from, I think he's Central Florida, if I'm not mistaken. He started, 7'2", 250 pounds. He's averaging 11.5, 7.8 rebounds, 2.3 blocks. Like, you want to know how the Cardinals are going to do against a solid interior defender. Now's your opportunity to get to see it. So
they're going to have their hands full, too, because they've got a couple guys with some size out on the perimeter, too, Dalton.
Yeah, I think this is where it's kind of like playing against Kentucky. You have to make your advantage be greater.
Which is your speed,
which is your guard play.
Your quickness, your ability to get up and down the floor.
But you look at the teams that they've
multiple ball handlers.
Looking at Cincinnati, I understand that it's not all it's still early on, but they beat Georgia State by 10. They beat Dayton by 12, and they were losing at one point to Mount St. Mary's. They ended up beating them by 17.
Pulled away late.
But they were losing by 6 at half. So is this going to be a team with Wes Miller that maybe is better on paper than they are on the floor? I mean, they are 4-0. There's something to be said about that. But
they haven't played anybody yet either.
Yeah, they just
Dayton's
haven't.
Not going to be a bad team.
Yeah, they haven't got as tested as they've gotten. It's not against really good competition. They've also got Kerr Kriisa, the Kentucky transfer. He's leading them in assists.
He didn't play last year.
Didn't he lead him in assists right now?
5 assists. The guy who Kentucky fans swore was Steve Nash. Remember him?
Yeah.
Oh, we were missing Kerr Kriisa. Okay. Sorry to hear that, but
the guy who also just took a bag and left.
Yeah, he did do that. Call it how you see it. Presented by the Call Your Law Firm. Give me a score prediction for Friday night.
I honestly am thinking we're going to run them out of the gym, Dalton, if I'm being honest.
95-77.
I like that score there. I'm going to say 91-79.
92-78. Wow. So I'm literally just taking it. Sounds like I'm taking yours and just adding a little bit to it. I think Louisville gets in the 90s again. I think that first half might be a little bit sloppy, but I think one thing that's going to benefit this team is their ability to just outrun teams at the end of the game. Teams are going to get gassed, especially when you're rotating so much. If you can get one of their big men in foul trouble, huge opportunity. But I'm interested to see how they defend Baba Miller. 6'11", can move really well. Is it Frew? Because this is a game where I'm like, okay, does Khalifa
minutes?
I don't know, man. I don't think that Zugris, maybe from like a physicality standpoint, but he just looks a little lost when he's out there.
He does.
I think that if anything, Kaysen, I mean, if he's fully healthy, I like this matchup even more because Kaysen, 6'11", can defend Baba Miller a little better.
I also think could potentially have an advantage with Baba Miller guarding him as well. Just with his seeming to be light on his feet and quick, even through his recovery right now. I don't know how. I'm interested to see how much we incorporate Kaysen though on both, on the offensive end and how many minutes we give him to go out there and be a defender as well. This is a very, very physical Cincinnati team where you can use Kaysen's advantage, right? Get kind of that player that can get under their skin, come in for. He probably only plays like 10 or 12 minutes, but he comes in for these 2 or 3 minute spurts, and he's able to just kind of change the intensity and then throw an extra body on him. I kind of like that aspect, but I don't know about throwing Kaysen on Baba all night.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good game to kind of get now, again, small sample size, context involved and considered with the level of teams that you're playing. But Cincinnati, I mean, they're just allowing like over 60 points a game, and they're 6.3 blocks a game early on. Will that go down as you play better teams? Yeah. Or will it go up in points per game? But I do think this is going to be a good test for an offense that, again, you're wanting to just continually see build up that rapport and that camaraderie on the court. So I think Louisville gets the win here. I think that it could be somewhat close at halftime, potentially. And then I think Louisville opens it up in the second half. But
I could see that.
We got about 10 minutes, guys. Anything else you all wanna discuss? You got any bets you want to give us tonight, Rome?
We gave out a couple bets earlier. I am on the Dallas Cowboys -3.5. I know that Raiders defense can can be annoying for some offenses, but I do think that they're going to be able to get the job done ultimately tonight. Dak should be able to get back into a flow of things. I think I like the under 49.5. I saw that it went down to 48.5. Usually a telltale sign. I don't know if it's gone back up or not, but we're on that under 49.5 as well. Those are the two big bets we gave out. I think Matt gave out an NBA play.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Pistons minus 10.5.
Rome, we had a conversation in the summer about the Rockets trading for Kevin Durant. I don't know if you saw the game last night.
I did.
That is why you trade for Kevin Durant. That's what you were missing. Because you needed a guy that you can get the ball to and say, clear out. This man is going to the kitchen to cook.
Get a bucket.
Him and Şengün.
Şengün has taken it up a level.
They're crazy
Şengün
together.
is him, bro.
They're insane.
Şengün is him.
He is relentless. And, I mean, Kevin Durant playing like the most minutes. I mean, him and Şengün tied for 45, but just at his age, at that consistency, he's still unreal. But
On one Achilles?
Yeah. Şengün, though.
And that's not even at full health. Like, they're still waiting for, Tari Eason is, I think he was battling injury a bit, but they haven't even had Dorian Finney-Smith out there yet, who is supposed to take some of those minutes.
Yeah.
Then you also got one of the best
I want
defenders.
to shout out
Ben
Reed
Thompson.
Shepard as well, which sounds crazy to do here on a U of L
Reed's
show.
been hooping, bro.
And he's not been a liability either.
It's almost like you can't write guys off 1 year into
After
the
their
league
rookie season. As
when he wasn't going to play immediately anyway.
Yeah. I still think he's obviously got room to grow. There's certain matchups out there that he clearly just can't do anything with at his size, going up against some bigger guards. But ultimately, he's making the right play on both ends of the floor more times than not. And that's been a surprise. I think he gets more minutes. There's also the moments out there where you can tell they're missing Fred, but ultimately Şengün and KD, they have what it takes to overcome that.
Louisville football back in action against SMU. Final road game of the year. Score predictions on that.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm gonna say we end up winning this game 27-24.
Okay.
I feel like we start a streak of games now where we don't score 24 points. I'm finding so many ways to feel negative about this team, but
I'm glad that streak is broken. Can I say that right now? I'm happy about it. Because I'm tired of every time we have a bad game, someone's like, well, we got the 24 points.
At least the streak's continued. Yeah, I mean, it's such a positive-looking streak for the non-ACC people in the sport who pay attention. You hear that stat, you're like, wow, that's the Jeff Brom offense, right? And I like that for the sake of just what he means to the sport and having a stat like that. I kind of feel you, though. I was kind of tired of hearing about it when it's kind of irrelevant when you're losing games as well. I'll say I think we're going to lose, fellas, which makes me, every time I predict a loss, we win, and every time I predict a win, we lose. But I do think we'll come up short on the road here. Just if Miller's out there as much as I predict he'll be, we're not going to win the game. The same way we lost to Cal, the same way we lost to Clemson. With that being said, we lose 26-21.
26. How'd you get to that number? What's the combination?
Blocked PAT attempt.
Okay.
I don't know. 26.
That was our one shining moment at the end of the game.
In one shining moment.
Looked good at the beginning.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go 28-21. I haven't seen it from the offense to be able to put up the points. And you have struggled against a not good California defense. You've struggled against a not good Boston College defense. You've struggled against a not good Clemson defense. Now you're on the road against an SMU team that's clearly still in the mix to compete for the ACC.
Has a good defense.
And has an offense that puts points up that you're relying on the defense to be Superman every game.
And score points.
And it's just, I don't know. It's trending in the wrong direction. I hate it, but that's the way it's going. I think SMU wins this game, and I unfortunately think that there is a very real shot that Louisville loses out.
God, that would be
And I hate it. I hate to even think about it. I hate it worse to say it.
I think we beat Kentucky still.
I hope we do. I think the way that the season's gone with these past 2 weeks, that you can't view the season as a true success.
They've struggled immensely against teams that have any pulse of a defense. And I think that's where Cutter Boley's freshman identity is kind of shown, or like rookie identity is shown. So I don't think we'll have any problems like stopping them from scoring. But they have a really good defense as well. And I generally do not think against a team like Kentucky, who is weak through the air.
Ready for this game though, man.
Is weak through the air, and they get punished when you throw it downfield. I mean, Miller Moss can't throw it 4 feet in front of him, so they're just gonna send it to Kejuan Brown over and over and over again.
Kejuan Brown, shout out to him, by the way. What a hell of a way to pick up this rushing attack with Isaac Brown out. He's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible.
Yes. Runs hard.
I hate that.
Runs through a dude's face.
Pause.
Resume.
No,
Keep running.
He said keep running. Man, it's I will say this. You got to do what you got to do to make sure you have 2 of these 3 running backs on the team next year. At least 2. Isaac Brown and one of Duke or Kejuan. Hoping you can bring all 3 back, but I don't think that that's realistic.
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, I think it's possible.
Especially with
all your
Tompkins
needs
coming in.
With all your needs, I think you just. It's tough. This was supposed to be the year from a personnel standpoint. And there just wasn't.
Wasn't. It's a shame.
It shows you how important a quarterback is in college football.
It's almost like it's better when you can get a young guy that you can mold your game around his game around your system and build him up over a couple of years and know what he's good at and what he's bad at from the start.
I think I'm seeing the Long John Silver's commercial more and more. And it's starting to make me mad. I mean, dude, I used to eat Long John Silver's when I was like 10, when there were Long John Silver's in the area.
Always preferred Moby Dick.
Yeah, fair enough. Those, like, what are they called? Like the crumbles, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, those crumbles.
The crumbles at Long John Silver's, goated.
Those are good, yeah.
I can't tell you, it might have been since the Obama administration that I've looked in the mirror and said, you know what? I want Long John Silver's today. It's been that long. And for me to see those commercials seemingly more and more with how bad Louisville has been the past couple weeks, you best believe I'm unhappy.
Can we give it to Long John Silver's though? They are geniuses. Okay, because
no, they're not.
No publicity is bad publicity. So if Miller Moss does poorly or does great, you're hearing about it.
It's called the end zone platter.
You can flood it in
irony.
dimensions. He gets in the end zone. He's our leading rushing scorer.
It'd be called the incomplete platter.
He gets in the end
zone.
zone.
Culture platter.
3rd and long.
The
platter.
culture platter.
The culture platter. The lack of culture platter.
It's got no seasoning on it. It's just dry. It's boring.
Throw platter.
You can't fix it until the winter.
The off-season platter.
Hey, I know this piece of chicken's not cooked, but we can't fix that until the winter. It's still on the culture platter.
Come back with a new recipe next year. Got me all shook up. I'm tired, man.
Come back here for the critical sack platter.
The next quarterback is getting an NIL deal with Dizzy Wiz. I've seen it. That's going to wrap us up on today's show. Everyone have a great evening. We'll be back with you tomorrow for all the great content. Mike Rutherford coming back up 3 to 6 tomorrow. Of course, p.m. Unless Rome wants to stay until 3. But anyways, go Cards, guys. We'll see you next week.
Go Cards. Get your bidets in.